Hello and welcome to the latest episode of The Board Masters with me, Chris Mullins, and today we will be returning to the seventh continent and trying the first of the quests or curses from the main box, which is the Voracious Goddess. I'm still not feeling anywhere near 100%, so it's not going to be a particularly long video. I'll probably try and play 15-20 minutes or so, but I managed to play through a game of Lord of the Rings yesterday, which will go up on Wednesday, but that took an awful lot out of me, so we'll see how we go with this. But with that being said, the quicker we dive in, the more progress we'll make. So in terms of characters for this one, I have picked Elliot Pendleton. So for Elliot, his backstory here. So how did this young Serb, who did not speak a word of English, manage to obtain the position of chief physician on an internationally renowned expedition to a mysterious continent, less than 10 years after arriving clandestinely in the United States? This is a secret that Vasily Kovacevic, alias Elliot Pendleton, will certainly keep until the day he dies. And he has an ability where during the result step of an action, I may discard 2 cards with the keyword stamina from my hand or my inventory in order to apply the following effect: 1 star. And also if I move to a terrain card where there is a fire figure or another explorer, then I can knock 1 off the cost. So if we look at the clue for the Voracious Goddess, so we've got the backstory here, and I'll dive into that. So, since you returned from that expedition, the vision of a strange, gloomy idol that seems to be calling you has been haunting your nights. The piercing cries of a few seagulls pull you out of a deep slumber. They sound so strange, as though they were laughing. You try your best to understand. Where on earth are you? How did you end up in this place? Your memories are clouded and you seem unable to remember. While sifting through your journal, you come across a handwritten sheet upon which something that looks like a root was drawn, along with several statues. As it so happens, one of the statues looks exactly like the idol from your restless dreams. Begin the adventure by putting a number 10 card into play, and each player will place their figure on it. And I've got that there ready for in a second. And then we've got the map on the other side, and we've got this purple icon, which, if I remember rightly, in our playthrough of the Crystal Song, I came across a card that had a purple icon that really confused me as to what it means. I'm guessing then there are different purple icons there for each curse, and so I'm looking for ones with this sort of ladder zipper type icon on it. And it's got a +7. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stages. And a number FT16 on this first island, so stay aware of that. Obviously I am playing on easy mode, so I have got the statue that will revive me if needed. So on to number 10. Thick columns of yellowish smoke rise up from cracks in the volcanic rock. To the east, the peaks of a rocky cliff look down, mocking the ocean below. And put my figure card on there. And this one kind of looks familiar. I think this will be the same starting island that we had in the Crystal Song. So hopefully we can be relatively efficient with it. So I'll have a look at number 5. So I draw 1 card for 0 successes. And then get card number 5. You stand before a nearly 50-foot high rocky peak. The view from up there must be quite interesting. And that's what I was expecting from memory of when we were here before. And I think I'm going to climb this because I think this was the one action really we came across in the Crystal Song that I didn't attempt. So I can draw any number of cards to get 2 successes. So I'll go with 2. And I have got 1, so I failed. Wait, what am I going to keep? Keep the trap. Okay, so you fail to the unforgiving stony ground below. Each character involved takes a 104 card, which we know are not fun. Superficial burn, deep cut or fractured bone. Injuries on the 7th continent can be extremely life-threatening. So you are injured. Okay. Do I want to try it again? I might try it again and go with, just because I have never gone up there. And at least then we'll know going forward. Do I get 2 stars? Yes, I do. And I think on this one, I might keep, do I keep the club or the raft? I am going to keep the club. Okay, so I succeeded on that one. So number 26, and discard this one. Finally, you make it to the top of the rocky peak. The ocean stretches as far as the eye can see in every direction. This volcanic island is only about half a mile long, and from what you have seen, the resources look too scarce for you to survive here more than a few days. You notice a path to the south, apparently free of any jets of stream. Constantly looking for an easier means of access, you carefully walk back down from the peak, banish the terrain card you were standing on, and replace it with a 10 card. So I'm guessing this will be the gold 10 card. Okay, so basically it just highlights a route to the south now, where there wasn't one previously. So that wasn't the most productive event, so we'll know if and when we come back to this island not to do that again. So let's start flipping these events. So let's flip the top one. Oh, a green card. Relaxed. The clouds break and the sun bathes you with its warmth. You deeply enjoy this moment of respite. You may discard this during the result step of an action in order to apply a star or a 7 star. And then we need card number 7. Further to the north, the terrain slopes steadily down to the water. And we're going to want to go up there because I believe at this number 11 is where the body of a Navy officer or something is going to be found, and he has the gear wheel for the submarine. Okay, so let's have a look at this card. Cursed. Anxiety overcomes you. Despite the cold temperature, you are sweating profusely and start to shake uncontrollably. So I have to do this. I can draw as many cards as I like, and I need to get 2 successes. And okay, so I'm going to draw 3. And I got 2, which is perfect. Okay, I'm going to keep medical examination because that's going to give me the opportunity to get cards from my discard pile back into my action deck, which is a massive boon. So I succeeded on this. You're able to calm yourself. And shuffle any curse cards back into the action deck. Well, I didn't get any curse cards, so that's fine. So card number 3, you remember these words whispered by Emil Z, the zoologist from the previous expedition. I only knew a few of the wild animals we have had to face so far, but experience tends to show that when it goes sss, everything is fine, while when it goes sss, you may want to get ready to fight. 1 experience point. This continent is home to formidable creatures, so no matter what you like best, fighting or stealth, make sure that you are always prepared for the worst during your expedition. Or exploration, sorry. Okay. Didn't expect to get one of those this early. And then we need card number 9, which is where we started last time. So the ground is totally barren here. In fact, the only red vegetation among your surroundings are clumps of red seaweed clinging to the rocks. Plumes of yellowish smoke spurt from the ground from time to time, swirling around a dead seagull, which we know not to approach because it's just a geyser which is going to injure me. Okay, so let's flip this one. Weaverfish. A weaverfish is hiding in the muck and you just happen to see it at the very last second. Beware of stepping on its sharp, poisonous dorsal spine. Right, so 1 success. Do I have anything with an eye icon? No, I don't. Let's draw 2 just to be sure. Yeah, got it. And I will keep the rope. Okay, so we're now at our hand capacity, so I may want to start crafting some things. Let's get rid of that. So by sheer miracle, you avoid getting stung. And then need card number 4. I don't remember there being that much of value down here. Progression in this direction is hampered by many jets of boiling steam. It seems you have to take a steep path to reach the ocean that you can see below. Because number 8, that was just looking out to sea and saying you could try and swim away. 35, I think, was somewhere to sleep, but I'm not tired, so that's not... I may be remembering it wrong, but I don't see much value in going there. Okay, so we need... Right, before I move, I'm going to craft something. Let's craft the Deadfall Trap, because I've got the flint icon, I only need to draw 1 card, which is a curse, so that's fine. So I've now got the Deadfall Trap. Could also craft a club, which will draw 2 cards for that. No successes needed. Oh, I'll keep first aid. So that is the club crafted, and because both the Deadfall Trap and the club are aggressiveness cards, I'm going to link them together, which will give us a usage of 5. Okay. Do I want to try and heal that injury? Yes, I think I do. So I'll use first aid. Or is there any point using first aid as opposed to just attempting the injury? I suppose if you fail it with this, there's no risk of taking a worse injury. So I need 3 successes. I think I'm going to take 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bonus. I'm going to keep the remember card in my hand. And I'm now not injured. So I can return that. Okay, so let's move. So I don't need to draw to move. Look at number 11, I don't need to draw. Okay, so this is obviously related to a curse in some form. but not the curse I'm doing. So I can ignore that bit. A man is lying face down among the rocks. Approaching closer, you notice his clothes are torn and tattered and his body is swollen and puffy. Parts of the body are mutilated and the man's skin bulges with what looks like large eggs. So it is a search icon. And I just need to draw one card for that, which is the blowpipe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 31 and return this. Okay. The waves violently pound the rocks, splashing your face with sea spray. You inch towards the body along the slippery rocks, trying your best not to fall into the water. So 3 successes are needed on this. It's a balance activity, which I don't have anything that helps with that. I could potentially use relax. So I'm going to draw 4 cards. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, fine. I'll keep the remember card. And I will discard the blowpipe because I don't need that at the moment. Okay, take a 32 card from the adventure deck if available. Now that the danger has passed, you search the body, wasting no time. And there's the metal gear wheel found on the body of a naval officer that we need for the submarine. Okay, discard this and replace it with a 139 card. Judging by the insignias on his jacket, this man was once a French naval officer. Despite being worn and faded, you can still make out a name, FT-16 La Rochelle, probably the ship to which the man was assigned. Unfortunately, there is nothing else worthwhile on him. Now, FT-16 is also referenced on this clue. So that is interesting. Okay. Right, so I'm going to try and do this medical examination because I need to use some cards. Although, that's not actually going to help me use it. So. No, okay. Ignore that. So I'm going to move over here to where the dead gull is. I'm going to discard the panpipes at this point. To move over here. Now we know not to look at the gull. I am going to look at 34 because that will give me an extra resource whenever I see red seaweed. So bright red seaweed is clinging tightly to the rock. Perhaps it is edible. You tear a piece of seaweed and give it a taste. As soon as your tongue starts to tingle, you spit it out immediately. However, its flexible and strong stem might prove useful. Immediately after this is revealed, take a 29 card from the action deck if available. Yeah, as we know, red seaweed, the stem of this red seaweed is both flexible and strong. It could easily be crafted into some nice cordage or as a component in other equipment. When the seaweed can be seen on your terrain, you have the vine resource. So now I have the vine resource and the flint resource on there. So I'm going to craft the rope, which I can craft for free because having the vine resource takes it down by 3. And then I can start flipping these. Thinking ahead, you take some time to ponder your possible options going forward to survive in this hostile environment. One involved character may discard one card with the keyword will from their hand or inventory in order to obtain the star during the result step of the following action. Do I have a will card? I do have a will card. So if I discard that, I can choose a card in the action deck or the discard pile and add it to my hand. But then it's discarding a card that allows me to do that anyway, so there's not really much point in that at this point, so I'll get rid of that. And we need card number 15 to go there, which should be the Chasm. The terrain is split in two by a small bay. The waves break and crash loudly against the jagged rocks. Getting to the other side is not going to be an easy task. Let's have a look at this one. Hot stuff. There are fumaroles between you and your destination. You notice that the most numerous ones spurt the gases less frequently. Take a 45 card and apply consequence A if you decide to walk on the yellow holes, or consequence B if you decide to walk on the white holes. So it's 22 yellow. And I make 23 white. Yeah. So I'll take 45. So most numerous ones spurt their gases less frequently. So we want to go on the ones where there's more of them. So we want to go on white. So take 45 card and consequence B. Okay. You pause, watching the pattern of the venting steam, trying to time your run. You dash towards the B. White ringed holes. The scalding steam does not shoot from the ground again until you are well clear. Take a 3 card. Excellent. An incident from your previous expedition comes to your mind. Harvey was so excited about the discoveries made during the first 2 weeks on the continent that he neglected to eat or get enough sleep. When the first difficulties came, he was the first one to die. Surviving in the first hours must be your number one concern, so find hunting and fishing spots and gather the appropriate equipment. Find a comfortable place to rest and turn your experience points into advanced skills. Well, we now have 2 experience points. And we've got plenty of equipment on the go already. And we know that there's a hunting ground on this one. There is no smoke here. Some moss and even a few bamboo, like canes, grow in this area. And we remember rightly, there's a hidden number, which is number 14 there, which is where the little crab lives, and that is where the other gear wheel is. You frighten a little crab and it scurries into a small hole hidden away among the reeds. Perfect. So let's move on down there. So 1 card for that. I've got another remember card. So I now have 3 remember cards in my hand. And I can now craft the bandages for free. No, I can't, because that is a bamboo, not a leaf. Ignore me. Keep that for a minute. Although I may as well craft it, because I do have -1, so I'll only have to draw 2. So I'll get rid of that, and I'll craft the bandages. I won't combine it with anything, because there's no bonus for that. And then I will go hunting. So 1 card. And number 12. From the few tracks you spot on the ground, it seems that a small animal was recently here. So I have to draw 2 cards and get 2 successes, or at least 2 successes. And this is where I'm going to want potentially use my trap, because that has a target icon, a hunt icon. I'll draw my 2, or I could always discard this. I may as well use the trap, but let's see. Okay, so drawing 2, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. If I use the trap, then I'll get another 3. So let's do that. So I now got 7. And I'll probably get rid of both of those. Okay, so for 7, you get 3 number 30 cards. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so stone-eating crab. You spot a kind of small grey and red crab with short flat pincers that do not really look like a threat. Take 1 number 1 card. Meat crustacean. Randomly take 3 cards, 6 if you have the fire resource, from the discard pile and shuffle them back into the action deck. Return this. Okay. So that's the thing with food. I'm never entirely sure if you put it in your inventory, your hand, or your satchel. So I'm just going to keep it here for a minute. Okay, strange cephalopod. A 3-foot-long creature with tentacles and stumpy legs tries to bite you. Okay, so I need 2 successes from drawing 1 card, which I didn't get, but I will discard the Valiant Heart Shall Not Fall card. Oh no, I won't. I will use my club, which will be an automatic success then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Camouflage outfit. I will discard. I'm going to discard the Valiant Heart Shall Not Fail, actually, because although it gives you 2 stars, you have to take an injury card, which I don't want. So I kill the critter, so I get a card number 2. Fish mollusk. Randomly take 4 cards, 5 if you have the fire resource, and shuffle them back into the action deck. And another stone-eating crab. So take 2 number 1 cards. 1, 2. So again, more crustacean. And then let's head into number 16. That is where the gear wheel is going to be. There is something in there. Following the scampering crab, you notice gleam at the entrance to the hole. You crouch down and reach into the hole to take the object. A metal gear wheel. A small metal gear wheel found in the lair of a crab. So now we have both gear wheels. So we can head off across the chasm to the submarine. And I'm probably going to end it there, to be honest, because I'm starting to feel it and I am absolutely wiped out, which is slightly pathetic, but it is what it is, unfortunately. And it will also give me a chance to research what we do with food before we carry on, because I don't want to pause the video while I do that. I may as well do that off camera. So we'll leave it there. And I hope you have seen the value of, as I mentioned in the Crystal Song, death and starting again isn't necessarily a bad thing, because with this sort of game you learn by trial and error. So I know next time I don't really need to climb the cliff unless I'm tired, and I know exactly where to go on this starting island to hopefully be as efficient as possible in future playthroughs. But as I said, I'll leave it there, and I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you join me again, and I hope you do like and subscribe, because I think I've had more success with this channel than I ever anticipated, really. I think we're somewhere around 2,700 minutes and a few hundred worth of views, which is mind-boggling to me, to be honest. I know this is the 21st video, which again, that kind of surprised me that I've lasted this long. I do tend to have these grand ideas and either don't start them at all or abandon them fairly quickly. So to get to 21 is something I'm quite proud of. And yeah, I think it has been exceeded any expectations I have had. I will say that I think at the moment around 95% of the minutes of viewed on the channel are by non-subscribers. So if you could subscribe, that would be brilliant. And I would just love to get more engagement on the channel. So please feel free to like, comment. I'd love to get in a dialogue with people down in the comments if I get the opportunity. But as I said, I hope you enjoy that. I hope you do want to engage with the channel, and I hope I see you again soon. So look after yourself, stay safe, and have a good one. Bye-bye now.